What's up everyone, I'm Dan and big thanks to Dear Villagers and JF Games for the review code for Caravan SandWitch on the Nintendo Switch. When it comes to finding a game that allows you to unwind, get lost in exploration and escape the intensity of everyday gaming experiences, Caravan SandWitch offers a unique, peaceful journey. It's a game that I've had my eye on ever since I first saw it and was intrigued by its concept. Set in a sci-fi post-apocalyptic world, this game offers players a relaxing break from the norm, full of gentle discovery, lonely interactions, and a quiet quest to reunite with family. Despite a few shortcomings, Caravan SandWitch shines as a cozy, heartfelt adventure that's easy to pick up but hard to put down. In Caravan SandWitch, you play as Sage, a young woman who receives a distress signal from her long-lost sister, Garance. This summons her back to Sigalo, her home planet, which is now mostly abandoned after a major corporation pulled out and left the remaining inhabitants struggling to survive. The world Sage explores is reminiscent of a futuristic version of the French countryside, a blend of idyllic landscapes with melancholic undertone of environmental decline. Yet, despite the gloom that lingers beneath the surface, Caravan SandWitch manages to present this world as inviting and beautiful. This delicate balance between warmth and the feeling of impending doom adds an unexpected depth to the game. There's no combat, no death, no looming timer to stress you out. Instead, the game's central focus is on helping the scattered inhabitants of Sigalo and uncovering clues to your sister's whereabouts. The simplicity of life in Caravan SandWitch is its biggest charm. It's just you, your van, and the open world waiting to be explored. Visually, Caravan SandWitch excels in its simplicity. The world is bathed in bright, cheerful colours that evoke a sense of calm even in the most desolate regions. The character models, while not overly detailed, are well crafted and blend seamlessly with the game's environment, making each scene feel like a pleasant, hand-painted landscape. Whether you're traversing the rocky cliffs, winding through desert ruins, or wandering lush forests, the game never loses its charm. Though the Nintendo Switch version doesn't look quite as polished as its Steam counterpart, it remains a joy to play and explore. However, it's worth noting the game does suffer from some texture pop-ins which can momentarily detract from immersion. These graphical hiccups aren't game breaking by any means, but they are noticeable, especially when transitioning between more visually complex areas. Accompanying these visuals is a calming, atmospheric soundtrack that perfectly complements the game's tone. The music is gentle, consisting of indie rock inspired tunes with light vocals, ambient guitar riffs and chill beats. It feels like the type of music you might listen to while watching the sunset over a quiet alien horizon, never intrusive but always present to enhance the peaceful exploration. The sound design adds to the relaxing nature of the game, allowing players to become more lost in its world without being overwhelmed by sensory input. A key element of the game is your trusty van, which you'll use to explore Sigalo. This vehicle is central to the gameplay, not only serving as your mode of transportation, but also housing important tools that you'll need to progress through the game. Over time, you'll upgrade your van with gadgets like a grappling hook and scanner, which will allow you to access new areas and complete quests. One feature that players will undoubtedly appreciate is the quick teleport button, which allows players to instantly return to your van if you find yourself too far away from it. This simple addition prevents the frustration that might come with retracing your steps after wandering off, and it ensures the game's laid-back pace never feels cumbersome. The controls for the van can feel a bit clunky at first, especially when navigating tight spaces or rugged terrain. There are moments where your van may get stuck on a mushroom or rock, requiring you to either wrangle free or use a teleport feature to return to the garage. This clunkiness can become more apparent in more densely populated areas or when exploring areas with lots of vertical movement. Fortunately, there's no penalty for falling from heights, which is a blessing given the slightly fiddly controls. Despite its occasional frustrations, the van adds a lot to the overall charm of the game. There's something undeniably satisfying about upgrading it with new tools, making it feel like more of a home as you traverse the world in search of your answers. At its core, Caravan SandWitch is a game about exploration and discovery. Much of the gameplay revolves around completing fetch quests, platforming challenges and gathering resources to upgrade your van and unlock new areas. The quest structure is smartly designed, integrating a social media inspired system that keeps track of your tasks and progress. Characters in the game communicate through a social network, posting updates and information as you complete quests. This approach adds a modern touch to the game's otherwise timeless narrative and makes managing tasks feel more organic than a traditional quest log. The world of Sigalo is filled with various NPCs, from humans to quirky frog-like creatures called Rantos. While many of the human characters lack distinct personalities, the non-human inhabitants stand out with more interesting dialogue and interactions. Helping these characters often involves gathering components or completing platforming puzzles, but the game never rushes you. The lack of combat or time limits means you can take your time and immerse yourself fully in the world without feeling pressured to meet any urgent goals. The slow pace of progression might not appeal to everyone, especially if you're looking for a game with a more dynamic or challenging gameplay loop, but for those who enjoy games like Journey, Caravan SandWitch offers a similarly relaxed experience, focusing on exploration and connection rather than action. As mentioned before, while Caravan SandWitch plays well on the Switch, it's not without its performance issues. The game runs mostly smoothly in handheld mode, where the controls feel more intuitive and intimate. In fact, playing in handheld mode was my preferred way to experience the game, as it seemed to mitigate some of the control clunkiness that I encountered while playing docked. That said, there are occasional frame rate drops, particularly in more complex environments like forests or the central town. These dips in performance can be distracting sometimes, but because the game is so low stress, they rarely impact gameplay in a significant way. Caravan SandWitch is a game that won't appeal to everyone, but for those who are looking for a relaxing, cozy experience, it offers something special. The game's combination of gentle exploration, heartwarming interaction, and a calming soundtrack makes it a perfect escape for the pressures of more intense gaming experiences. The clunky controls and performance issues, while frustrating at times, don't overshadow the game's core strengths. I found the game has a very addictive nature to it, where I just wanted to keep playing, exploring, and finding new things and areas to access. Ultimately, Caravan SandWitch shines in its ability to create a world that feels both vast and intimate. The story of family and homecoming, set against the backdrop of a dying planet, adds emotional depth to what is otherwise a simple, laid-back adventure. If you're in the mood for a game that lets you slow down, explore at your own pace, and enjoy the journey, Caravan SandWitch is worth a spot in your Nintendo Switch library. Caravan SandWitch is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $22.49 in the UK and $24.99 in the US. Thanks once again to Dear Villagers and JF Games for the review code. Thanks to you all for watching, and until next time.